Imagine spending 482 million euros after winning the Premier League title and now all of a sudden losing 4 straight Premier League games against Palace, Chelsea, Man United and Brentford. Arne Slot's position is being questioned. Tactical decisions aren't making sense. Buying the best attacking left back in the Premier League only to invert him and use him as a third centre back. Signing 2 incredible strikers only to constantly rotate them and not allow one to settle in. Liverpool are in a crisis and surely out of the title race by now, as Arsenal and Man City seem most likely to battle it out. Is it over for Slot or can Liverpool turn this around? I want to begin by saying I am absolutely, positively, 100% fuming on the inside. This starting 11 with Mamardashvili and the back 4 of Kerkez, Van Dijk, Konate, Bradley, Szoboszlai, Jones, Gakpo, Wirtz, Salah and Hugo freaking Ekitike lose against Brentford. How are we consistently losing to set pieces when our starting 11 has a 6'2" tall striker, a 6'2" tall left midfielder, a centre-back of Van Dijk, 6'4", aerial fortress basically in real life. Konate, 6'4", goalkeeper 6'6", so he should be able to reach anything basically when he just pushes out of his box. How are we conceding so many goals and why are we looking so tactically inept? Like, why are we playing Kerkez as someone that moves into the midfield, into the center of the pitch? Why are we inverting a guy that has proven that he's so good on that left-hand side? Now, against Brentford, many a times, Kerkez actually did run down the left, overlap Gakpo, but he just ignores him most of the time, which is also doing my head in. Stop cutting in, pick up your head, and look at your teammates. But as you can clearly tell, I'm at a point now where I really do not understand how a team of this quality, individually, every single player, is doing so bad right now. There is no way in hell that we should have lost 4 Premier League games in a row. This is not okay. This is clearly not okay, and it is down to tactical decisions 100%. I'm sorry, but this is on Slot, okay? I believed in him in that first season. Initially, I saw at Feyenoord, his teams were conceding a lot of goals. I wasn't happy with it. I was following Feyenoord for a long time. I don't know if you guys know, but I was obsessed with them, basically. And Slot was the coach of that team. And his defenses would concede a lot of goals, but also score a lot of goals. Not just his defense, his entire team. And that was okay. It was fun to watch, right? Because he was consistently winning. But when you concede a ton of goals and don't score them, well, that's not fun, is it? We're right now, as I'm recording, just 2 goals conceded away from Wolves, who are at the bottom of the league table. This is the level we're at defensively. Now that I've calmed down a little bit, let's talk about the fact that I'm jumping in at a live start point where this team is in the 3rd position. Maybe that's just foreshadowing. 8th position coming up next. You know what? That's actually possible because Tottenham, if they win, they move above Liverpool. And if Crystal Palace win their game, they move above Liverpool as well. So, hey, there is a chance for 8th. Yes! As we are now in the month of October, we still have plenty of time towards the January transfer window. Now, if I'm being honest, I think Liverpool are going to be active in that window due to the injuries that we have been suffering, especially at centre-back with Leone. We need someone to come in and back us up there because what happens if Van Dijk or Konate get injured? We're basically done. So the January transfer window is something that I cannot wait for. But genuinely, the question now is, will Arne Slot actually survive until then? Does anyone think that he's doing a good job right now? Because I don't see it. I don't see it. And please feel free to let me know in the comments down below all of your thoughts about my opinions. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If you think I'm just talking nonsense, let me know. But let's have a discussion about it in this video. So this is the lineup that we had against Brentford. And look, obviously due to injuries, it's impacted. We have Alisson injured. We have, of course, Leone injured, Bajcetic, Endo, and Gravenberch, most importantly, missing out in that midfield. And what we have done is we have basically... Oh, sorry, not McAllister. We have basically lined up the team, the midfield 2 of Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones, who worked really well against an Eintracht side who are horrible at defending. So that was, I guess, fine in that matchup. Now, for me, if there's one player that I can look at this season and say he is for 90% of his game time, he has been incredible. It's Dominik Szoboszlai. He's the one that you cannot fault right now. The man has played as a freaking right back and has done a decent job, to a point where many people, including myself, said, just play him at right back. But we are missing Szoboszlai in that midfield. Now, I think, tactically, formation-wise, we shouldn't necessarily change anything, okay? Formation-wise, I should say. But in terms of actual tactics, in terms of putting players into the starting 11 that will deliver something that this Liverpool team is highly missing, we need to change something. So we go into editing the tactics, and we go away from this standard setup, and we are going back to high pressing. Because Liverpool was known to press incredibly high, to do a great job with that, to not allow our opponents any time on the ball, and to basically make sure they don't break through our midfield with simple passes. That is something that this starting 11, whichever one that Slot has put together this season, has failed massively at pulling off this year. So we're going back to high press, we're going back to basics and our DNA. But in order to do that, we also need to have the right lineup. Now, obviously, Kerkez was also playing in that matchup against Brentford. I'm not playing Kerkez. I'm sorry. He's too shaky. He needs to earn his position over someone like Robertson. Yes, Robertson does have mistakes in his game, but experience is so important right now for this Liverpool side. The back four that I would play, obviously, with Mamardashvili in goal would be this, with Bradley, Konate, Van Dijk, and Robertson. Allow these guys to feel a sense of, oh, I remembered this from the previous seasons, to have that sense of security in their defense, in their partnerships. So that's something I want to see. Now, when it comes to the midfield, I know a lot of people love Curtis Jones right now. Yes, he played well against Eintracht Frankfurt, and people thought, oh, this is the second coming of Vitinha. Let's relax. It was just one game. There are so many games of Curtis Jones in this Liverpool team where I'm literally pulling my hair out because he doesn't drop deep enough to pick up the ball and progress. So many times it happens where our defenders are looking for someone in the center to pass the ball to, and they are not finding anyone. The only reason why Curtis Jones has worked so well now is because he basically put himself in between Van Dijk and Konate in many positions, so he picks up the ball there and then progresses it into the rest of the attack. But if he drops that deep, we're lacking the players in midfield to really progress the ball. So he has to constantly just shift it from side to side and sometimes gets a pass through the midfield. So for me, McAllister has to go back into this team. This guy, of course, hasn't had the best season, but he's a world-class midfielder. He has proven it at Liverpool in the past season, and he needs to be given the time to be back and fully fit. And for that, he needs game time. I need McAllister back in this team. Now, Szoboszlai, as I said, is the only one that hasn't put a foot wrong. And now I'm about to do something that is just, yeah, horrible, but I'm going to have to do this. Not this one. Come on now. Select Szoboszlai. Move him into the Wirtz position. Move Wirtz. Okay, this is the tough part. Either Wirtz goes over to the right midfield, and the main reason is I'm going high press. And Wirtz is one of the only players alongside Szoboszlai who's constantly chasing people down. Throughout the full 90 minutes and way past it, he is chasing people down. And as much as I love Mo Salah, this season, he's missing big chances. His first touch has been horrible. He is just not the same. And high press, it's non-existent this year from him. So for me, it's not good enough. And ideally, when Gravenberch is back into this team, he takes over this position. And on the left, I understand Akpo has been getting goals, been getting assists, but I don't think he's good for the team and the system that we need to play. I don't think Akpo is good enough, and I think his numbers right now are kind of inflated because the rest of the team is just not getting things done, so he constantly cuts inside and shoots, and he will be found out. For me, the one player that has proven his worth this season is Chiesa. I think Chiesa is Liverpool fans' favourite after Szoboszlai at this moment. He needs to start. He's giving his all every single time he's in this team. So this is actually how I would line up because of the tactics that we now change to high press. Ekitike does the pressing alongside Szoboszlai. Wirtz is constantly chasing people down, and so is Chiesa. Gravenberch will be that glue from defense into midfield, and McAllister will be the dictator in that midfield, making sure the people that need to get the passes for us to move forward. And when Alisson returns in about 9 days, he goes straight into the team, giving us another sense of security. And thankfully, Gravenberch will be back in 2 days. Luckily, this midweek, Liverpool have a matchup against Crystal Palace coming up in the Carabao Cup at Anfield. A team that has been beating us for fun lately, with a coach that knows exactly what to do. So I'm going to be testing my formation and my tactics against this team right now. As you can tell, McAllister has been changed to a CDM. Wirtz has been changed to a right midfielder, which actually dropped their ratings. And yes, I know I haven't talked about Alexander Isak at all, the record signing of this team, and that's the point that I've gotten to as a Liverpool fan. I don't care how much you cost. I want the best players for the best tactics to be part of this team. So against Crystal Palace, it started off nicely with Szoboszlai, the main man himself, getting in a shot. He's also taking the corner kicks. Of course, he's involved in basically everything. And initially, all the attacks came from our team. Crystal Palace stood no chance as Wirtz found Ekitike, and we take the lead 1-0 against Crystal Palace, which would be a wonderful feeling if Liverpool could actually pull this off. Ekitike drops the shoulder, goes past another one, makes it 2-0. This is something I would love to see. Please, Liverpool, just make it happen. Uche now with nice movement. Good pass. Lerma scores. That's a beautiful goal from Crystal Palace as they try to make their way back into this game. But Ekitike and Wirtz have different ideas. Wirtz on this right-hand side has been creating so many chances, and it now leads to us scoring our third goal in this matchup in the Carabao Cup. And it continued. Szoboszlai over to the left. Chiesa wants to get involved, and yes, he does. A beautiful finish shot into the top right corner, making it 4-1. Ekitike, 3 goals, hat-trick for the Frenchman as we move on into the future of Liverpool. Now, in the January transfer window, as I mentioned before, we need a centre-back, and it's quite clear who Liverpool want. The man who recorded a video saying goodbye to his team, Mark Guéhi, is now joining into this squad for 36.9 million. I don't think Liverpool have the luxury of waiting until the summer to get him for free, so we have to make an offer in this January transfer window and pray that Mark Guéhi decides to join us rather than joining a team like Real Madrid or Bayern Munich in the summer transfer window, because they have been linked to him as well. So, Mark Guéhi, welcome into this Liverpool side at the age of 25. With Konate, whose contract is running out, we still have absolutely no news about it. So, yeah, just too many things that are bothering me right now when it comes to Liverpool themselves. But it's okay. We have Guéhi now. He comes into the team, 6 foot tall, a bunch of play styles as well, which is obviously very important. And I really hope that this formation is working for us. We'll see where this team ends up at the end of the season. So now the season has come to an end, and Liverpool have finished third with an 8-point gap to Arsenal. And that's okay, I guess, considering how bad the team is looking right now. And I do think it will be Arsenal winning the title at this stage. However, I cannot look past Manchester City. In my opinion, they do have an incredible squad with a striker that is just on fire. If Haaland doesn't get injured, I think City can actually go ahead and win the title too. Now, what I was kind of hoping for was that we go ahead and do well in the FA Cup. Well, in the FA Cup, we actually got kicked out in the round... Where did we get kicked out? Round 3 against Peterborough. I mean, come on. That's like Grimsby and Manchester United all over again. Carabao Cup, we got kicked out where? It was the quarterfinals against Fulham. So I thought, okay, if the league's gone, at least let's try and win one trophy, right? Since we failed so badly in those cup competitions in England, the Champions League was no better. 20th position, had to go through the playoffs. We played against Club Brugge, beat them 6-3. Down the 16, beating Arsenal. Something's going on here. Quarterfinals, beating Galatasaray. I don't know what the hell they were doing there. But semi-finals, we have beaten Bayern Munich to now face Real Madrid. So this is like the most weirdest thing ever. We are doing terrible in the league. We're losing in the FA Cup and Carabao Cup to teams that we should be beating, but we are winning in the Champions League. And this is something that I think Arne Slot will have to kind of focus on as we move forward. I think he has to try and win a trophy, whether it be the FA Cup, or the Champions League if that is a possibility somehow. Knockout stages, Liverpool, you can never count them out. But this is what we have right now. And the top scorer is Alexander Isak. And well, of course, even though I have put together the team like this to hopefully play him like that, the game decides that they want it a bit different. They want to play the highest rated players. Hence why Isak actually played most of the games. 26 and 7 from the Swedish striker. Salah with 19 and 9, now at the age of 33, with a contract that goes for just one more year. And I think this upcoming summer, even when he signed on, and before this season has gone as badly as it has, I thought Salah was going to leave by the end of the season with a huge fee over to Saudi. And I thought Konate's contract was not going to be extended, but I would have never guessed that he moves to Crystal Palace. So Gehi joins us, Konate goes the other way. Good job, Crystal Palace. And well, Real Madrid, the team that was supposed to pick up Konate, that is of course our next opponent. Champions League finale, 3rd minute in, Chiesa chests it down, hits the volley onto the post. Could I actually win the Champions League? Chiesa, finish shot, beauty, but Courtois has something against it. Courtois known to have beautiful moments against Liverpool, and Arda Güler just had his. What a finesse shot into the far corner. We could have done better defensively, but Szoboszlai tries to get us back into the game, but we are consistently failing at getting past Courtois. And in the 69th minute, that was a beauty, but I messed it up. I messed it up big time, and Real Madrid actually beat us in this Champions League final. So now Arne Slot is saying goodbye to Konate as he joins Palace. And Mo Salah at the age of 34 has moved to Al Hilal for 60 million. But where does that leave this starting 11 of Liverpool? I think it leaves us in a position where we will have 2 strikers up front, with Isak and Ekitike joining forces because they're too good to be benched. It's just like, it makes no sense. We have to find a way to fit these 2 onto the pitch at the same time. And it leaves us in a spot where we will have a midfield 2 of Szoboszlai with whoever else. Okay, I think Szoboszlai is the name that has to be put on top of the team sheet. We'll have Chiesa on the left, Wirtz on the right. And when it comes to the starting 11, at this stage, hopefully, I'm really hoping Kerkez will have settled in. So he comes into this team at a rating of 84. And Conor Bradley keeps his position. And then Frimpong becomes a backup for not just the right back position, but also the right midfield. Now we've sent out Rio, Nioni, Leoni, Kumas, Pesci, and Bajcetic on loan. And we have a budget of 192 million as we speak. And by the way, our team might be lining up in a 4-4-2 on paper, but when we do have the ball, we're basically switching to a 4-2-2, just so you know. Since we do have 2 strikers up top, we need backups. And these guys need to be aware they are backups because the 2 strikers are going to be incredible players. Mathis Ablin is now joining us from Nantes, and one of the main reasons as to why I got him into our squad right now is because, of course, he's French, so that will help with integration into the squad, with the likes of Ekitike easily being someone that he can become friends with. And, of course, this is someone that also has decent amounts of stamina, 83 to be exact, and I want whoever comes into this team to actually be someone to chase people down and put on the pressure, so that was something important to me. He has the game changer play style as well, which is nice, I guess. And we also now moved on Harvey Elliott and Kostas Tsimikas, who are obviously 2 players that have been loaned out by Liverpool, but I believe they have buy clauses. So Harvey Elliott, who doesn't necessarily play at all for Aston Villa, I would assume if they have an obligation to buy, they're going to just sell him on immediately. And well, this season we're stepping up into a cup finale. It is the Carabao Cup against Manchester City. I finally want to win some nice silverware, and it should begin right here. But Tijani Reinders had different ideas. City get the first chance and the second as Kovacic turns and Van Dijk somehow saves us. Alisson also saves us right here. City with the first 3 shots, but then Alexander Isak across to Hugo Ekitike. And Donnarumma has to get his hands on it. Here goes Wirtz. Wirtz into the center. Szoboszlai with a bit of space. Beautiful pass to Ekitike. I prefer not to speak. I don't know what the hell just happened there, but we keep on going. 66th. Wirtz. Bradley. What a pass into Alexander. What is going on? Why is no one scoring? City isn't scoring. I'm not scoring. And they even missed this huge chance in the 78th. 84th minute. Beautiful through ball, but Alisson 1v1 is exactly what he does best. And in the 96th, Chiesa, flying header. Arne Slot at the bench are losing their minds. How has no one scored in this game yet? Well, up until the 101st, I thought that was going to be the end. But then Ekitike into Isak, and finally, the moment has come. We are going to be lifting a Carabao Cup title. Congratulations to Liverpool. But that's not all. We are stepping up into the Wembley Stadium once again. This time for the FA Cup. Same season, we could be going for a double. And if the team has done well, there could be a Premier League title on the horizon as well, as Bradley saves us early on from conceding. Isak now with lots of space. From that position, there is no chance I am missing. 25 minutes in, Aston Villa have conceded, and Liverpool are not stopping. Wirtz into Isak again. Tight angle, but he makes it look easy. Alexander Isak has finally worked his way into the team, and playing Gravenberch in that centre midfield spot seemed like a good idea, as Chiesa has gone ahead and gotten himself a goal as well in a 4-0 victory for the FA Cup, making it an English double. So having won those 2 domestic trophies, I was feeling good. And at the end of the season, we came in second behind Arsenal. So I'm seeing a little bit of progress right here compared to last season. And I feel like next season, if we make the right decisions, we can actually go ahead and attack the Premier League title again and possibly go for the Champions League too. Now, in the Champions League, actually, we got kicked out. Real Madrid is in the finale again against Barcelona. I wouldn't be surprised if they go ahead and win that. In the semi-finals, they beat the likes of Leverkusen. And Leverkusen is the team that kicked us out on penalties in the quarterfinals. That is only how far we made it this year. But I'm kind of glad that we're coming out of this with 2 trophies. And a very, very strong starting 11 with Isak, Ekitike, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, Chiesa, Wirtz on a 93 right now. Bradley on an 84, Frimpong on an 86. I'm assuming they are playing him. McAllister on a 90 as well. Fully assume he plays in this team too. And generally speaking, a strong defense, a better defense than before. But Van Dijk is going down now. He's 35 years old, so we'll have to find someone to replace him down the line in the next transfer window. But it seems like the high pressing style of Liverpool is working, as Isak has 34 and 13. But I'm so happy to see that Federico Chiesa, now at the age of 29, has gotten 42 goal contributions for this Liverpool team in this formation. It seems to be working, and we have McAllister actually playing too. So even though I'm putting those players into the starting 11, the game does decide what to do by itself. It seems like Szoboszlai was the one being rotated, as Gravenberch played 58 games. This season, Woodman and Endo are leaving us. I would like to believe that the Dutch players in our team can have an influence on Mickey van de Ven to come in and become Van Dijk's successor. 1 season under Van Dijk, and then he can take over. Spurs, I'm sorry, I have to buy this guy. I need him to play for huge trophies, and I think Thomas Frank is a great coach, but I don't think they're going to be doing better than Liverpool in the future. But we have Van Dijk, even though actually saying that, Spurs do have a great setup to do so. They just need to make the right decisions. That's a completely different story. But Van Dijk is on that 87, as I mentioned before. Van de Ven comes in now at that 85. At the age of 26, he can go up to an 86 and then already compete with Van Dijk, who probably is going to drop down very soon. This time around, the Carabao Cup has been won by our team against Brighton. The FA Cup has been won by Leeds United, which is huge. And somewhere along the lines, we got kicked out in probably, again, an embarrassing way. Actually, Aston Villa, I guess that's okay. But when it comes to the Premier League, my friends, finally, Liverpool have done it. Slot, you've done it, lads, but I don't think he'll get this much time. I have only pulled it off a couple of years later, obviously, as you guys can tell. 87 points right here. I mean, then again, if he does win the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup like I did, he probably could make it and also makes it to a Champions League finale. So I guess this could be a trajectory that he can follow. But we have finished above Chelsea to win this title. And the top scorer, Ekitike on 23, right behind Haaland, who's still obviously part of the league, and Isak on 19. For the assists, however, we do have our German magician on 15 assists so far. Now, the starting 11 looks amazing. 292 rated strikers, 94 rated Wirtz, 90 rated Szoboszlai and Chiesa, pushing towards the 90 at the age of 30. I love to see that. Would have never thought that he can go up this much, but Van de Ven has overtaken Van Dijk. Van Dijk down to an 85. He's a captain from the bench right now. We have Mamardashvili on an 88. We have Gakpo, McAllister on a 92. So I'm fully assuming McAllister is constantly playing these games, but I guess this is just how I would like to line up. And then on the right back position, Bradley's on an 85, but Frimpong is on an 88. So the game is probably playing him ahead of him anyways. But that starting 11 looks great. However, it actually got kicked out in the Champions League round of 16, and that is unacceptable. And on top of it, it is time to say goodbye to Andrew Robertson, who's gone down to 77 rating at the age of 34. His contract is running out. He can go back and play for Celtic if he wants to, but sadly, there is no more room for him at Liverpool. The beauty of this season is a bunch of our youngsters have come back from their loan deals. We have Kumas on a 76. Gumoha on an 80. That is going to be the one challenging Chiesa for his position. We have Pesci back, who's going to back up the likes of Mamardashvili. Leoni is back, who, in my opinion, that one game that he played, the 60 minutes that he had before he got injured, I was so impressed. I'm so sad that this guy is out for such a long time. He must be thinking to himself, I could help this team right now, but he's not able to. Jarosz is back. Beck is back. We have Nyoni coming back and Bajcetic on an 81. So we're going to build on these guys as backups and not necessarily bring in new players. This season, we're back at the top. 90 points for Liverpool, 11 ahead of Arsenal. Arsenal, by the way, have just won their game against Crystal Palace. And yeah, the gap between us and them has become bigger. Aston Villa have beaten Manchester City, which surprised me, but that's a totally different topic. FA Cup. Oh, we won that. Carabao Cup. We won that as well. So we have picked up the English treble, which is amazing. Is there a chance for a quadruple? 21 points in the Champions League. Round of 16, Salzburg, easy. Quarterfinals, Dortmund, very easy, 6-1. Semi-finals against Real Madrid, 4-2. And now face Barcelona with the likes of Yamal, I'm assuming, doing an incredible job. Oh, Ferran Torres, Marcus Thuram. Interesting. So after losing a Champions League finale, we are now back in it. Last time it was Real Madrid. This time it's going to be Barca. The squad is looking very good. Frimpong is on a 90. McAllister is on a 93. But I'm going to stick to my guns and use the players that I think Liverpool should be playing in the formation that we probably should be trying. The 4-4-2 flat defensively and the 4-2-2 basically offensively, which I hope it's going to work out for us. And so as we go into this game, we can start discussing the situation about Liverpool once again. Obviously, at the beginning of the video, I ranted a lot. And now, after a couple of hours of recording, I'm still freaking mad. I just cannot get over the fact that we have been so terrible. What is my biggest issue right now is the fact that I just do not see a style of progressing up the pitch that seems sustainable for this Liverpool team. I need some sort of, system that works. And Slot has been saying for a very long time that our team struggles a lot against these set pieces. We struggle against the long throws and everything. If you're a good enough coach to point out those issues, I think you should be able to point out how to fix them as well to the team and get that defensive side of the game over the line, which we just have not been able to do. And I really, really hope that we do find a solution, because at the end of the day, I don't want this to get to a point where Slot needs to be fired. But if he does, I only accept one signing, okay? Or two, actually. First, Jurgen Klopp. He said in an interview that he would be open to returning to Liverpool if the circumstances aligned and he is ready to go for it. In that moment, when he gets the offer, he feels like, yes, this is the right timing. I don't think that timing is now, but Szoboszlai. Yes. Top left corner. We're taking the lead in the Barcelona final, in the Champions League finale. Dominik Szoboszlai, clutch player for Liverpool this season, and hopefully can carry on this great form. But if we cannot get Klopp, I want Zidane. There, I said it. If we cannot get Klopp, I want Zidane. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know if someone like Iraola would work at Liverpool. I genuinely don't know. Oh, I see Ekitike's run. But I find Isak. And he's just sprinting through. And Juan Garcia with the save. Mickey, why would you run past it, brother? Ooh, that's a good ball. Thuram. Gehi, can you catch up? Not necessarily, but saved by Alisson. Nice, Wirtz. Nice high press. Ekitike's through down the right. Hugo, Isak, Alexander Isak. That is the new front four of Liverpool. Chiesa, Wirtz, Ekitike, Isak. Could it work? I don't know. I'm not sure, but I do hope it could. Nice Kerkez, Chiesa. Over to Kerkez. Chiesa again. Federico. Chiesa. Good attempt. Thuram. Oh, I had to take him out. That's going to be a red card. We have about 20-something minutes to go. Mark Gehi is going to pick up the red. And the captaincy is going to go to someone else. With 12 minutes to go, we're making some substitutions. Van Dijk at a rating of 82 is now coming on into the game to hopefully win the Champions League. Uh-oh. Van Dijk. That is a free kick. That is a free kick. Could have also been a red card for Van Dijk, but I guess we're getting very lucky here. It's Yamal again. It's Yamal again. Into the top right corner. 8 minutes to go. Beautiful free kick from Yamal. Let's see that one more time. Incredible move. Look at that. Just pure perfection from him, isn't it? No chance for the keeper. Ferran Torres. Frimpong has been subbed on for this moment right here. Yes, that's the pace I need. The recovery pace. And now move it. Up front, Rio. And that's it. We've won the Champions League with 10 men. And that means we get to go ahead and put up 4 trophies on top of the bus. Premier League, Carabao Cup, FA Cup, and the Champions League. Liverpool have done it. And lads, that would be some dream, wouldn't it? This team of players that we have purchased, this team that we're trying to build for the future, for sure has to win some big trophies in the future. Otherwise, it is going to be the biggest flop era of Liverpool, in my opinion, considering how much money we have spent. So hopefully Slot will be able to dance as he's doing right here for this Liverpool side. I'm kind of hoping that we end up this season with some trophy. But for that to happen, we need to sort out the way we're playing right now. And I hope Slot gets it under control. And if not, give me Klopp or Zidane. Take care, guys, and peace.